How are we doing for our community? My name is RMG, aka Real Money Gaming, or just Money for short. I'm a small content creator, mainly posting on TikTok and streaming on Twitch. If you've seen a bright green For Honor character running around, chances are that's probably me. This isn't my first time making a YouTube video. I do already have videos up on this channel, however, these are videos when I was a kid and had no idea about making content before. Now that I've grown and I'm trying to learn more, I thought it would be a fun idea to try and make this video. I mainly enjoy streaming on Twitch. You can find me there at twitch.tv/realmoneygaming02, where I mainly stream For Honor among other games as well. So why am I making a video about ganking, when there are plenty of other videos out there on YouTube already about that very thing? I consider myself more so a casual player who has dabbled a little bit in the more competitive side of For Honor. However, I still enjoy both casual and competitive gameplay with my community, the Money Gang. Shout out to you guys. My community is filled with a wide range of skill levels. Some are comp players while others are new to the game. Either way, I enjoy playing with my community regardless of skill level, but it's more so about having fun. However, some of my more casual members have expressed interest in learning more competitive strats of For Honor, so that way when they play with me on stream, they can understand why I'm doing something specifically, and they themselves can improve. Hopefully, a video like this can help improve synergy with teammates. With that being said, I hope you enjoy Money's basic guide to ganking, grab some snacks and a notepad, and let's get into it. So what exactly is ganking? To put it simply, it's getting jumped, but with style.
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
Now ganking has mixed opinions in the For Honor community. Some people like it, and others would rather walk across a floor of Legos than deal with it. Everyone of course has their right to their own opinion. I personally enjoy ganking because in my eyes, ganking is simply just good teamwork with your teammates, which I am all for. Ganking is definitely a much needed concept to learn in order to play For Honor at a more competitive level. A quick disclaimer, this video is a very basic tutorial about ganking, and more so focuses on the general ganks that can be done with any character. The goal is for casual players to watch and understand the basics and learn the fundamentals of ganking. Now that we have that out the way, let's check out our first gank. So what exactly is a guard break gank or guard break confirm gank? Well, it's this. Confused on what just happened? Don't worry, let's talk about it. Freeze. Here we go. When you or your teammate lands a guard break, they become the initiator or the person who starts the gank. We'll be using this term a lot in this video. The person who is the initiator is the player whose role is to confirm the damage. Now normally, when you land a GB, you throw a heavy. But when ganking, your teammate can also throw a heavy to get extra damage off the GB. It is very important that your teammate's first heavy lands just after you land your first heavy in order for the gank to work. Notice how after I threw my first heavy, I floated right into my second heavy in order to feint it into a GB, which lets me confirm my teammate's second heavy follow-up, thus successfully completing the GB gank. Now let's do the same gank, but the roles reversed. Now this time, instead of you being the initiator, you are now the damage dealer. Let's watch real quick. So in this situation, rather than being the one trying to confirm the damage, you are simply letting your attacks fly. Like I said before, Timing is very important. The damage dealer's heavy must land after the initiator's heavy. After you throw that first heavy, you will throw your follow-up heavy finisher and trust your initiator to confirm it for you. Mistimed attacks will result in the opponents getting damage reduction and feeding revenge. And with that being said, that is our first gank down. Let's move on to our next gank. Like the GB gank we just discussed, the Parry Gank starts with a parry. Let's check it out. Once again, we want to figure out whose role is what in this situation. This time, the player who parried the opponent is the initiator, making the JJ the damage dealer. Just like before, I'm throwing my follow-up heavy in order to feint it into that GB confirm. Let's change POVs to the damage dealer's role. Make sure to get that heavy timing down to land after your teammate throws their light. Once it hits, let that second one go. This gank works exactly the same way on light parries, just you throw a heavy instead of a light on the parry. That will wrap up this gank. Let's move on to the next one. If you couldn't guess it, the bash gank starts with ding ding ding, a bash. Here is how it goes. Pop quiz. Who is the initiator? If you said the Orochi, you are correct. After landing the bash, throw a light and follow with the heavy feint into GB in order to confirm for your teammate. If you have made it this far in the video, 1, thank you so much, and 2nd, you should know what the other side of this gank looks like. Damage dealer does 2 back-to-back heavies. That concludes this gank. I have one more for you guys to check out. So unlike the last 3 ganks we learned, like confirm doesn't necessarily have an initiator, just someone confirming. Let's have a look. How it works is when you see your teammate in a fight and they're throwing their heavy finisher, you want to throw a light to keep your opponent stunned long enough for your teammate to land their strike. On the flip side, the damage dealer can do basically anything in order to get to their heavy finisher. They just need to trust their teammate to confirm. So those are the 4 core universal ganks that you can do with roughly any character. There are other ganks that are more complicated or character specific, however I didn't want to include those in this video since this video is more of a beginner's guide. I do however still have 2 extra bonus tips for you guys to check out. How many times have we dealt with this? Revenge can be an annoying mechanic to deal with. That's why ganking is a good strat to help land optimized damage before the enemy gets revenge. Revenge builds up with things called tags. Now tags are applied when you attack someone, whether it's with a bash, an attack, a feat, or they block or parry. The list goes on and on. Tags themselves last for around 5 seconds. When a teammate is fighting the same opponent as you, they are also adding tags. And when you have multiple players adding tags back to back, you unfortunately get... Here's a tip to avoid feeding revenge. Notice how the enemy's emblem is flashing by their health bar. When it is flashing like this, that means they have active tags. You should wait a few seconds and let it stop flashing in order to avoid giving them an easy revenge. The second bonus tip I wanted to show you is a way to help set up garbage ganks a lot easier. All heroes have chain ending attacks that we call finishers. What's helpful about these attacks is when they are thrown out by players, it leaves them extremely garbage vulnerable. Take Orochi for instance. We know that Oroshi's top heavy finisher is unblockable, so when I see him throw this attack at my teammate, I can very easily GB him and my teammate and I can easily flow right into our GB gank that I showed you earlier. So if you have good game knowledge and can recognize each character's finishers, you can have an easier time setting up some nice ganks. A way that helped me learn this trick when I was first learning to gank was my teammate would call out finisher in order for it to click better in my head. And that is about all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end, it means a lot. I hope this video was very helpful in some kind of way for you. Big shout out to these guys who are members of my community. I appreciate you guys so much for your help. If they have any kind of socials, I will put them in the description for you guys to check them out. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts or opinions, so please feel free to drop a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm live on Twitch at RealMoneyGaming02, so if you're ever down, you should totally stop on by and come hang out. I highly encourage you that if you are interested in stopping by, you should definitely swing by on Fridays specifically, because those are when I host my For Honor Fridays, which are my fun community nights with my community, where we play fun game modes like Fight Club, Dominion, and other wacky game modes that I created. So if that's your thing, all are welcome. Again, thank you so much for the support. My name is Money, and please make sure you stay safe and stay blessed.